right? And it's a complex exercise, and putting a PPT does not mean it's an easy thing to do. Because why is it difficult? Because people are just generating information right now. Nobody's questioning. The question of how important it is a really difficult question, right? So the other framework, like now trying to put this is more targeted to how big organizations really should do it, right? So we call it like the four key processes or key steps to doing this. So one is really you have to have written policies in place. You need to know the kind of infrastructure you have. For each one of them, what kind of information can sit there? How do you classify that information? How do you who can access those information? So you need to have a written policy. Then you need to have an infrastructure in place. So now see, users won't care, right? So Mr. Sodi mentioned 5,000 laptops roaming in the network, right? Users don't really care. They are just using the information, right? You need to have a way of discovering where all the information is sitting. You need to have a way of classifying that information automatically. Is it sensitive, not sensitive, and things like that. So you need to discover and classify. You need to have enforcement points in place, and they better be they should not come in way of normal user actions. So suppose this is the thing. If you are a good organization, security aware, there should be a thing in place which does not allow me to put any sensitive information on US side, right? So as long as I am doing normal things, it will not come in my way. But the moment I do some sensitive stuff, it will probably send a mail to system administrator, or it will warn me that, are you really trying, is it right thing to do? When in place, wherever information is used. And that's not enough. You need to assure people that people are secure. What's happening right now, the biggest challenge is all the investment that's being made in security is there's no ROI report, right? At the end of the day, after all these investments, people don't know are they secure or not. It's the same case, does having 5,000 security professionals in your city, police force, does it mean you're secure? No. So if you double it, does it mean you're secure? Maybe not. So security is like that. How do you know what you have deployed? If you have deployed certain controls, are you secure or not? How do you do that? So you need what government is saying is, let's say there is a regulation which says that if you collect any credit card data, you should not share it with somebody else, you should not use for the purpose that you have not collected it for. Now government has put that data, right? And so the liability is on the CIO. Right? If something goes wrong, then CIO is the liable person. So this CIO will go to some security vendor and tell, okay, give me some technology, because I don't want to stop the business, give me some technology which allows me to do this. Right? Now so he'll say, okay, give me $10,000, this is the tool, go and use it. But is that enough? Because that guy's job is at risk, right? So that person needs to know, am I secure all the time? So reporting and auditing on a real-time basis is a very important thing. It's similar to what in the network world you have this, you need to know everything, how it's being used, and also same thing for security. You need to have an assurance almost a real-time basis that nothing malicious is happening. So now, as I said, let me jump into very quickly 3 examples. And so I thought maybe this is the right time to kind of put this in perspective. What is information security? Always think about 3 principles, right? 3 core principles: confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Confidentiality means that it should not be information should not be seen by somebody who is not authorized to see it. Integrity means it should not be tampered by somebody who is not authorized to do anything with it. And availability means that it should be really available for the authorized usage, right? And then what are the common mechanisms? So I think people get it, cryptography and encrypt it, sign it, that should be enough, right? But what I'm going to talk about has got, and that's what I'm trying to. So most money is right now today is being spent in some of these kind of solutions, and it has got nothing to do with cryptography. So let's see what are those solutions. So the first one is about something called preparing for future. right? So let's say 9/11 happened. So you all know the vulnerability for all the attacks that have happened. So after it has happened, some smart techies can get together and say, okay, this is a solution. Like use this tool, you will not get this again. But there are always this other half of the techies who are actually trying to now plan for an attack for tomorrow, right? So it's a never-ending game. So US government has this initiative called the CNCI in place right now, which is all about being ready for tomorrow. How we go about it. So what's the solution? What can they really do about it? So all they're saying is we don't know what kind of attack will come, right? But what we need to make sure is when something happens, the mechanism to collect all this evidence should be in place. Every activity that's happening with information in my infrastructure, I should have logged it. I should have an ability to analyze it almost a real-time basis and give me a meaningful, actionable thing that I can do something with. Now, it's easier said than done, right? You have the CCTV cameras. I'll just narrate an example from my experience. So, in our company, we have the 6 CCTV cameras, and then one laptop got stolen, right? About 1 year back. So all of us are surprised because we have what to do with it. So then we said, okay, we have CCTV cameras. Let's go and figure out who stole it, kind of thing, right? 2 months, people went through that video recording and could not get any meaningful data about what would have happened. So that's the whole point about collecting information just does not mean anything. Mr. Sodi mentioned about 300-page report that keeps generating every day. 2 people you have put, but unless you automate this whole thing and make it like real-time available, make a meaningful use of this, it's not going to work. So that is a real challenge right now. First, there is not enough evidence being collected. Even if you collect it, you can start collecting these logs you can put, but there is no real technology today to really meaningfully interpret them and do something real time. So this case is that I'll skip the details of this case, but basically the technology that exists today is what is commonly known in industry as security information and events management, and it is I think it's a very early kind of solution, about 2-3 years old, catching up, mainly because this is the quickest response to compliance. People are saying, okay, if you can't do anything to prevent it, at least collect an information that can help you later on. So this is a knee-jerk reaction. You don't have a smart technology, at least do a dumb technology, collect the logs, get them in one place, and then start moving in that direction for tomorrow. So that's SIE area. So the second thing I want to talk about, the second use case is secure information sharing. What does that mean, right? So if you really look at it, most businesses, right, they don't exist in isolation, right? Business is all about interacting with others, right? With your partners, with your suppliers. Business is all about partnership. So if the business is inherently dependent on information, right? It's all about sharing the information with the partners and all that. How do you do that securely, right? So what technologies exist? So let's take an example of something like Bangalore One. Everybody, I think, would have heard of something like Bangalore One, right? So it's a portal which brings all the utility or all the government agencies together so that citizens find it easy to transact, right? Now, what are the challenges of this kind of system? Right? Suppose you have a relationship with government in different forms, right? You have a PAN card for income tax, you have an election ID card for